Well, if you're going to try a sprint experiment, where better to try it than here at Monza, where 17 of the fastest 18 races in World Championship history have been run. Today, it's not the Grand Prix distance, it's 100 kilometres or 18 laps to you and me, and we're looking to form the grid for Sunday's Grand Prix. But we're also going to give points out for the top three as well. Valtteri Bottas starts at the front alongside his Mercedes teammate Lewis Hamilton, and Max Verstappen, the championship leader, will start third for today's race. It's a free choice of tyres right from the start, and it's going to be an absolute blast around this 3.6-mile circuit. Watch out for the run down to turn one as well, 458 metres to your first braking point. They're all going to be arriving at a rate of knots. As I said, 18 laps, 100 kilometres max, and there are shiny medals to hand out to the top three. At the point system, 3 points for the first place driver, 2 points for second, and 1 point for third. And the gap between Verstappen in the championship and Hamilton in second is only 3 points, and these points could count towards the end of the season. So it is all to play for in glorious sunshine here in Monza this afternoon. Air temperature 28 degrees, track temperature 43 degrees, 11 corners there on the circuit, 4 to the left and 7 to the right, and there are 2 DRS zones and speeds in excess of 215 miles an hour. So the grid then for the second sprint sees Valtteri Bottas starting not on pole position. Pole will be awarded to the driver that finishes first in this sprint race. Lewis Hamilton is Mercedes teammate alongside him, and only 900ths of a second separating the two cars yesterday. Max Verstappen has his highest ever grid spot at Monza in third. Lando Norris alongside him in fourth, 200ths behind Verstappen, and only 6 thousandths ahead of his teammate Daniel Ricciardo. Pierre Gasly starts sixth, and then it's an all-Ferrari row four. Carlos Sainz, who crashed in FP2, and Charles Leclerc, who's not been feeling at all well today. Sergio Perez will start ninth for Red Bull ahead of Antonio Giovinazzi, racing on his home territory. Sebastian Vettel alongside Lance Stroll. Row 6 belongs to Aston Martin. Row 7 belongs to Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon, the two Alpine drivers, and behind them, George Russell, 15th for Williams, and Nicholas Latifi, his teammate, in 16th. Then on row 9, Yuki Tsunoda for AlphaTauri ahead of Mick Schumacher, who out-qualified Robert Kubica. Kubica standing in for Kimi Räikkönen this weekend as he continues his self-isolation after testing positive for COVID. Nikita Mazepin is 20th on the grid. We have 20 drivers in the sunshine, all waiting to start this race, and everyone you speak to, Martin Brundle, is worried and concerned about the run down to turn one. These are nervy moments, not just for those on the grid, but for those on the pit wall and those cheering on their heroes as well. 18 laps, it's the second F1 sprint, and it's lights out and away we go. Bottas gets away well, as does Max Verstappen. There's damage there to Pierre Gasly's AlphaTauri as his front wing comes off and he crashes at the Curva Grande. He'd slowed down quite dramatically, and by the time he hit the barriers...
Gone around the hours. Oh, look, he's clipped the back of the McLaren, broken his wing. That's where the damage was done.
This is the 6th time we've had a safety car on the opening lap this season. Safety cars disappeared for a while now, though, and we can get racing again. And Valtteri Bottas has made the jump, and he's got a very good start. Ahead of Max Verstappen, Daniel Ricciardo in third place. Then comes Lando Norris and Lewis Hamilton. Behind Hamilton, Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. Making a move is Fernando Alonso and Sebastian Vettel a bit further back. And also looking at the Haas and Mick Schumacher. Alonso and Vettel squabbling as they go into that first chicane, and over the bumps goes Fernando Alonso. I don't think there was contact between the two experienced drivers and former winners here, of course, in Monza, but they got very close.
Yeah, and as Paul pointed out, you know, for McLaren now, they've done 2 laps less on those tyres at high speed, so it's working for them. The Ferraris then line astern and down in 6th and 7th place, and still people locking up.
And George Russell needs to be ahead of Nikita Mazepin as far as he's concerned into the first chicane, and he has done so. So Russell back up into 15th place.
Except here he comes, and that's going to be tight for space, and it's rough across there. He now has to let...
Checo, give it back. We'll get him next lap.
So he does give it back into the Ascari chicane. Will he get him on the next lap? As his engineer Hugh Bird said, he's going to go to the left-hand side once again. On the inside, Lance Stroll. Perez under braking a little bit later. Does manage to get it. Fernando Alonso's looking to pounce, but he is kept at bay by Lance Stroll as Perez moves 9th, Stroll 10th. Let's just watch on board with Lewis Hamilton.
Wow, that's a lot of oversteer in a modern Formula One car. He's a little bit high on the line, but yeah, just lit up the rear tyres.
To winning ways for Valtteri Bottas as well in the week where he leaves Mercedes, and it's announced that he leaves Mercedes. He goes on to take the first of the 2 races here at Monza this weekend. And so far, it's not gone that well for Mercedes, these sprint qualifiers. It's gone very well for Max Verstappen, though. He'll start tomorrow's race at the front. Valtteri Bottas wins and takes a penalty into the Grand Prix. Hamilton will start on the 2nd row.
Good day, you know, all the critical points of the race luckily went smoothly. You know, the race start, also safety car restart, and yeah, the car was a joy to drive today.
Yeah, I mean, it was important to have a good start, and we did that, especially on a weekend like this where we seem to be a little bit behind Mercedes. It was crucial, you know, a result like this, but of course I know that tomorrow are the main points, and you know, Lewis starting forward, Valtteri coming from the back, they still have a lot of pace in their car.
Valtteri and Max pulled away pretty quick, and I don't know how much the medium tyre helped, but I think they're just quicker. But then behind, you know, it looked like Lando could hold off Lewis pretty well, so I think that's encouraging looking ahead to tomorrow, and just another good start and eyes ahead.
In this situation, you're pushing like hell for 18 laps. I'm using the tyre, sliding everywhere just to hang on. But when you have to try and get to lap 40 or 45 on a tyre or something, then I won't be able to do that for that long.
Trying to overtake the McLarens was just impossible for me, unfortunately. So yeah, it's going to be tough tomorrow.